Xiaomi recently launched its latest budget smartphone, which comes almost a month after its elder sibling, the Redmi Note 5. Let's see what we get in the box. The first thing you see is a TPU cover for the Redmi 5, which should make the phone less slippery. Then there's the device itself. So let's quickly boot it up. Here we can see the familiar Mi logo, and now we'll keep this aside for now and see what else we get. There's some basic documentation. There's a charger, a micro USB cable, under which there's a SIM eject tool, and it looks like that's pretty much it. Now let's get back to the device. Key features of the new Redmi 5 include a 5.7-inch 18:9 display, a fairly large 3300 mAh battery, and an LED flash for the front-facing camera. The Xiaomi Redmi 5 has been priced at 7,999 for the variant with 2GB of RAM and 16GB of storage, 8,999 for 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage, and 10,999 for 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. Now we spent some time with the Redmi 5 and here are our first impressions. As we mentioned earlier, the Redmi 5 packs a 5.7-inch display, but thanks to its 18:9 screen, the body ends up being smaller than the 5.5-inch iPhone 8 Plus. The Redmi 5 has the same metal body as the Redmi Note 5, although it's not as large thanks to the smaller screen. It weighs 157 grams and there's a 2.5D curved glass on the top. The phone also measures 151.8mm tall, 72.8mm wide, and 7.7mm thick. The front of the smartphone has no physical buttons. The home, overview, and back keys are all on screen. Above the display is a 5-megapixel front camera with its own LED selfie light. The camera's performance is similar to what other budget phones in this price segment generally offer, but the LED flash does help in low light. There's an enhancement feature called Smart Beauty 3.0 that claims to make selfies look better. Now before we delve deeper into the camera specs, be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon. The metal back of the Xiaomi Redmi 5 has a 12-megapixel camera with an f2.2 aperture, face detection autofocus, HDR, and an LED flash. Models in the Redmi series have it known to sport the best rear cameras, and the Redmi 5 is no exception. Now in a brief time with the unit, we were able to take some decent shots in good lighting conditions, but it didn't perform too well in low light. But do wait for a full review in which we will test the camera performance extensively. Now the phone also has a rear-mounted fingerprint sensor placed right below the camera that's easy to reach, and it worked accurately during our initial testing. On the right of the Redmi 5 are the volume and power buttons. On the left is a hybrid dual SIM tray that can house either 2 nano SIMs or 1 nano SIM and a micro SD card. The bottom of the device has a micro USB port and loudspeaker. Now finally, on the top is a 3.5mm headphone socket, an infrared emitter, and a microphone. The 18:9 display has a HD Plus resolution. Now at the core of the Redmi 5 is an octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 450 SoC based on the 14nm FinFET process. Interestingly, this is one of the lowest cost phones in the market to feature this processor. The variant we spent time with was the one with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. Now we did not feel any lag or stutter when using it, although the unit was just out of its box. All this is powered by a 3300 mAh battery. The Redmi 5 runs MIUI 9 on top of Android 7.1.2 Nougat. There are no timelines on an Android Oreo rollout yet. In terms of software, MIUI includes a security app that is useful in terms of cleaning up memory and storage, scanning for malware, and tracking battery consumption. The app lock feature can be customized according to your preferences, and there's also a block list feature, second space for privacy, and dual apps so you can use multiple accounts on the same device. The phone will be available through weekly flash sales starting March 20th at 12 PM IST on Amazon.in and Mi.com, as well as Mi Home offline stores. Availability with offline partners is expected to follow later. Stay tuned to Gadgets 360 for our extensive review of the Xiaomi Redmi 5, in which we will test the phone's cameras, performance, software, battery life, and value for money.